Welcome. This is our 19th Spirit of Manatee celebration of philanthropy. How about that? 19 years. And this is such an amazing crowd. I have not been to an event lately that had such a wonderful crowd and so many of you. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. I'm Buzz Turner. I'm the chairman of the board of MCF. And see, they know me in Washington even. Today's event's going to be a little different than those in the past. We've had a difficult time this past year, and so we wanted to recognize some people that took that opportunity to help their fellow man, woman, child. And so that's what we'll be doing today, is celebrating just a lot of really, really good acts of kindness. You're also in for a real treat today. Keith McPherson is our keynote speaker, and he's created a special presentation just for you. It'll give you a minute to reflect on things, highlight the sense of resilience of Manatee County and how we can come back from such a tough year. Okay, this is important. You all have a silver box in front of you. Do not open. I'm sorry. Do not open the silver box. I'll have the sergeant at arms come around and check in a couple of minutes. I'd also like to express my gratitude to Congressman Vern Buchanan. Thank you for being here. I know it's a very busy time, and we really appreciate your attention. It's terrific. Our county commissioners are, ironically, they're in Washington, trying to talk it up for. They're in the they're in the wrong place, Vern says. I'd like to recognize. I'm sorry. Tallahassee. Oh, that's right. Tallahassee. That's true. Well, I'm done. I would like to recognize current and past elected officials that are with us today. Could you please stand and let us recognize you for your service? The beauty of the Manatee Community Foundation is that it exists to help everyone realize their philanthropic goals. I'm often asked, what does MCF do? And so then I have to go to the book, because this is important. This is the crux of what we do. We partner with our citizens to strengthen and enhance our community through philanthropy, education, and service now and forever. And that's the key. We want to be a resource forever. And we want to be able to help all types of philanthropic needs. We are the only community foundation in Manatee County, and as that, we accomplish our mission by doing three things: improving the quality of life in our community, helping our donors discover and achieve their philanthropic dreams, and sometimes in tax-advantageous manners, and finally, building the capacity of our nonprofit partners so they can serve our most vulnerable needs. We're lucky at MCF to have an amazing board. It just gets better every year. Veronica has really been a workhorse and done so many good things, but the board itself is also just a very dynamic board. And I know they want me to tell you how much they appreciate what's going on here today and all of your dedication to a philanthropic community that can take care of its problems. So now I will turn it over to the real leadership behind this organization, Veronica. And I think we're going to roll a video in the meantime while she takes her sweet time getting up on the stage.
Community foundations support the geographic area where they are. We focus on improving the quality of life of the communities we serve. We partner with our donors to discover their philanthropic dreams and put them into reality in tax advantageous ways. And then partnerships with the nonprofit organizations that serve the communities in the area, because we are really all better together.
Manatee County has deep family roots, people that care so much about the community, and the idea that these folks all can come together through MCF to mobilize impact and change across systems and across regions.
It's a place where people have a passion for their community, and they see the benefit of not only coming together to discuss philanthropy, to convene about important issues.
I think one of the things that I enjoy doing for the Community Foundation is to bring up new ideas, things that the community isn't doing that it should be doing. And that way you broaden the outreach for philanthropy in general and for things that other people haven't thought of.
There's different ways to walk into the door and work with us. We have a pulse on the community of what's happening. We have the great relationships and partnerships with the county, with local government, the school district, our nonprofit partners, and just being able to get everyone in a room to get some collaborative sessions started to actually make changes in the community.
If you're a donor who's looking to make a philanthropic investment in our community, we'd love to talk to you about that and the ways that you can support the things that you and your family care about most. If you're a corporate partner, a community ambassador, there's also opportunities to align with us in those strategic initiatives to really be part of the solutions for our community.
We encourage other people to become donors and hopefully demonstrate to them what joined together as a group can bring and to the community as a whole.
At Manatee Community Foundation, we are here to partner with our citizens to strengthen and enhance the community through philanthropy, education, and service, now and forever.
Thank you. What a packed room. I had to fight the fire marshal for this one. It is the largest event the Palmetto Resort has held to date. Thank you for being part of it. As many of you know, I was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I turned 19 on a plane ride over. I hated my dad for it. And I quickly discovered that I'm so lucky to be in this community, surrounded by incredible people, each one of you. It is an honor and a privilege and a duty to serve in this capacity. We have it all, right? Nobody scraped ice off their windshield this morning, did you? I was complaining about the fact that the allergies are kicking my behind. But then I realized it's 75 and sunny. We should have held this event outside. We are lucky. And we are very blessed at MCF to get to work with each one of you. To our donors, our partners, our community members. Back in 1998, MCF was founded by those who knew that Manatee community would only thrive with a community foundation of its own. We are the only community foundation in Manatee serving the entire county, and we're very proud of it. Many of those people who saw the potential in MCF are here today. Our founding fathers, I saw Bob Blaylock here today, and Marlene. So many amazing, friendly faces. Thank you for making the time to be here. Now, may I ask the Board of Directors of Manatee Community Foundation to stand and receive an applause and thankful for all your amazing work. Please, board. Come on, you're being shy. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge our amazing team. So, team, please stand as I call your names or wave if you're in the back taking pictures. We have Yolanda Mancha, Max Schmitz, Fallon Markwell, Alicia Chalmers, Simone Peterson, and Sarah Bostic. These folks accelerate the philanthropic footprint in our community. Please connect with them. Our volunteers, thank you so very much for making today possible as well. And METV, we've been together for almost 20 years. Thank you so much for your support. And CCAV as well. Thank you. So much of our work and the work of our community is only possible because businesses invest in our success. So thank you to the Platinum and Gold ambassadors, those organizations that are not the best at their craft alone. They are philanthropic. They care about their community and they want to invest back. So you'll see them on screen in a moment. There we are. Thank you to our Platinum and Gold sponsors. And to our foundation partners, without whom we could not do the work we do every day. Wendy Deming and our friends at the Bishop Parker Foundation, John Annis and our friends at the Charles and Marjorie Barancic Foundation, Roxy Jurdy and Betsy Pennywheel at Community Foundation of Sarasota County, and Deborah Jacobs and the Patterson team at the Patterson Foundation. And I also saw my friend John Thaxton and Aaron Miner here from my old stomping grounds at Gulf Coast Community Foundation. Thank you for being here. Nonprofit partners, we witnessed in awe how you delivered not only your mission-driven services this past year with all our troubles, but also you elevated our community and you provided services that extended your bandwidth well beyond what you had planned or budgeted for with all the emergencies we dealt with together. Our hat goes off to you. You showed us exactly what being resilient is about. Thank you. Yes, let's cheer our nonprofit partners. And let me share a quote from an article from Harvard Business Review entitled The Secret of Building Resilience that Peter Kraft from St. Stephen's, who's here as well, shared with me recently. It deeply resonated with our team as we built the agenda for this event. Resilience is the capacity to not only endure challenges, but to get stronger in the midst of them. I know you'll agree, we all witnessed incredible acts of valor and resilience this past year. A season of not only one or two, but 3 disasters we faced together. And as our team planned Spirit of Manatee, we found it very difficult to narrow it down to just a handful of folks that would be recognized under our regular award categories. So instead, we turned to you. We asked our community, who do you feel needs to be recognized and elevated? And we heard you, and we will be honoring those folks today. It is about you, and thank you to those who took the time to nominate and honor those fellow community members. And we'll see a slide with their names here as well. Maybe. There we are. These are some of the organizations that took the time to recognize our honorees. Thank you. We saw people move through their grief and their personal struggles very quickly to unite together for a common cause. And we showed incredible resilience and abilities to adapt and innovate as a community. Each person in this room did whatever it took to elevate others. And today we hope to do just a little bit of that for you. We want to pour into you. We know the resilience lies in relationships and networks that we build together. And that's why you'll hear me say a lot of times philanthropy is a team sport. MCF partners with government, businesses, business organizations, and philanthropists, with nonprofit partners to create systemic change that lasts forever. The magic is in the mix. It's in getting everyone at the table. Much like today, if you look around the room, every single sector is represented because you care about our community. It was truly incredible to see us come together, especially during the disasters. And because of that, MCF has become a convener of choice for disasters recently. And we partner with our friends at Bishop Parker Foundation, Manatee County Government, the city, United Way, to establish and invigorate a COAD, and I see Sarah Brown here as well leading the effort, community organizations active in disaster. We are invested in creating a long-term solution, including a fund that anyone in this community can invest in to build our resiliency forever. After all, as a community foundation, that is our job, is to be here to improve the community's quality of life and create opportunities for all in perpetuity. How cool. Today is not only about recognizing leaders in philanthropy, but also our collective resilience and our commitment to Manatee County, which is why we'll take a detour, as Buzz said, from our usual ceremony. There are so many people we wish we could recognize, but we'll stick with about 30. I think that's a great number. This year we will not present the usual awards, but instead we'll focus on elevating those who came out of their usual role and extended beyond their bandwidth to provide support to our community. We asked our community, you shared names, these will be awards from the community for the community. And please join me in a round of applause for past recipients of all of our 19 Spirit of Manatee Award celebrations who will be on screen. 3 slides, lots of winners in this community. Woo! All right. In the field of philanthropy, especially each one of you are direct nonprofit partner service providers. We suffer from compassion fatigue. We tend to invest and pour really quickly in others, but we forget about ourselves. So today, we know that we invest in you and want to fill your cup just a little bit. Our speaker will do a great job at that, and we want to reaffirm to you that MCF will be behind our nonprofit partners no matter what. We are here to support you, to pour into your cup, and to elevate you. And Keith McPherson will do just that today. He is the guy for the job. When my friend John Annis from the Charleston Marjorie Barnsick Foundation introduced me to Keith, I knew he'd be the guy. He is going to be here and deliver I'll call positively unconventional delivery and presentation to energize us and to connect us back to what matters and to resilience, to equip us with that. And our deepest appreciation goes as well to our long-standing sponsor for MCF's Spirit of Manatee Awards, the Milestone Financial Group at Morgan Stanley. I think you'll be back for the 20th, won't you, John? You got to. And because we're doing things a bit differently this year, we also have another incredible sponsor, an award sponsor, and that is Credit Union One. They are presenting here today. Sherrod Halliburton is here, and you'll see him on stage. He is the VP of Market and President of the Business Development for CU1. With the help of CU1, MCF has created an initiative called the Financial Empowerment Fund to support the community's financial well-being. Any one of you can be part of that as well. Just visit our website and hit Donate Now, and you'll find the fund listed. So Sherrod, as you walk up to stage to do very brief comments, I'll share a bit about Sherrod. He is a community leader, community development, finance, and credit expert as well. Before leading this organization into a merger with Credit Union One, he was the CEO of Federal Access Credit Union, which was one of the most innovative small CDFI unions in the country. In his capacity, he raised millions of dollars to build financial capacity for underserved individuals and businesses in our community so they could all access low-cost capital. He has been very active in the community for over 20 years, serving in leadership capacities of numerous boards, as well as the executive director of the City of Bradenton Central CRA for 7 years, and was instrumental in the founding and creation of Career Edge Workforce Collaborative. Sherrod?
Good afternoon, everyone. And I could not have been the only one that noticed the emphasis on very short comments. I'm Sherrod Halliburton, and I am thrilled to join us today. This wonderful event, I look out at all of these wonderful people in this community committed to the health and well-being of this community. And I'm just honored to be a part of it. I really want to thank Manatee Community Foundation for including us in this wonderful event. I would like to acknowledge my team. I'm thrilled that I have our leader of business development who flew down from Chicago to join us today, Mr. Kevin Allen. Thank you for joining us. Wonderful, wonderful leader, which allows us to make a commitment to community building here in Manatee, because that's what we're committed to here at Credit Union One. And in that vein, I'm excited about the investment that we've made. We've invested $400,000 into very important institutions in this community, starting with Manatee Community Foundation and Veronica to support financial wellness and empowerment, because we know how important that is. And I want to thank Manatee Community Foundation for going even further and creating a donor fund to support that work. And we have Jackie Zadowski from the Manatee Chamber. We made a financial commitment to support their work in serving underserved and emerging small businesses. We're thrilled, yes, we're thrilled about the work that we do with Manatee Chamber. And we're also thrilled about our investment in the Career Source, Suncoast Career Source, with Josh and his team in supporting their apprenticeship program. We're here to make a difference. I shared these partnerships to really speak at the reach that we have into this community. I've lived in this community for 25 years, and time does fly when you're having fun. And I have to say, I'm having fun working with all these wonderful individuals in our community. I'm sad to say 2 of my partners are not here today, but I would be remiss in not acknowledging their hard work. Maria Avey, she's my partner in crime. Maria was the executive director of Career Edge for over a decade. She is part of our local business development team. And Michael Fluker, those of you who operated in not-for-profit space might be familiar with him. These are the Florida teammates that are here making a difference in our community. So financial wellness, helping individuals, helping organizations stay strong at a time in which is so very necessary. From natural disasters to inflation, we are in a very challenging economic time. So we're here to support, and we have our congressman here, so I want to acknowledge the $400,000 that we committed was federal funds that came to this community. So thank you, Congressman, for your support of the CDFI fund. And thank you for the wonderful job that you do. Now, I would like to introduce our primary sponsor. John came to Bradenton in 1976. So that's 50 years. So you doubled me, John. And he was in the first graduating class from King Middle School and was in the graduating class of 1983 from Manatee High School. He's a longtime resident, deeply rooted here in Manatee County. John was in the Leadership Manatee class of 1995. He became committed to community service very early in his career, and since has been recognized many times for his efforts. Some of those acknowledgments include the following: 2012 Spirit of Manatee Volunteer Spirit Award, 2024 Manatee Chamber Robert Bartz Award, 2023 Boy Scouts of America Good Scout Award, Leadership Manatee Alumni Association Kent Schultz Award, 1996 Manatee Community Council for Children Child Advocate of the Year, 1995 and 2010 Bradenton Kiwanis of the Year, and Kiwanis Robert F. Hickson Fellow in 2001. So John lived in Northwest Bradenton until 2019 when he moved to Cortez. Please join me in a round of applause while we welcome John to the stage.
Absolutely. Well, good afternoon, everybody.
what a crowd, and what a beautiful venue that we're in today on a beautiful day, here in the community that we all love so much. We're honored to be part of this event for the past 19 years, from the infancy of it, 19 years ago, and looking forward to the 20th anniversary. And I'd like to recognize, my team, most of whom are here today, and what they've really done in joining together to not only support this event, but to support so many things around our community. And that's really one of our pillars, is to give back and to make sure that we're looking at what the needs are of the community, and to become involved in those, both on an individual basis and as a team together. So teams, stand up and be recognized for all the good work that you do in the community, and thank you so much for being here with us today. It takes a village, and believe me, I come to them with some wacky ideas, and I have to really sell them sometimes, but usually they come along and get on board. So happy to be a part of our team, and celebrating a lot of years together in doing that, and looking forward to a lot more together. So different venue, different format today, and different a lot of differences here today, and it's exciting. And I think when we look back at 2024, as Veronica mentioned, there's been a lot that we've gone through. And when I told her to do my introduction, I said, hey, talk about the local. We don't need to go through college and what I did after college and all that. But talk about the roots and the roots of where we've been, and what we've been able to accomplish together as a community. And it's been great helping out over all those years. It's been a wonderful time of my life, and it's been a great thing to be able to do, to get together and to work on so many different projects, and drive down the road and say, hey, we were a part of that. We worked together on that, and we were able to do it. And so for so many years of helping out, it's just been an honor to be able to do that. So that all changed a little bit when 2024 rolled around, and as we said in the introduction, we moved out to Cortez a few years before that. And we found a beautiful place that Tommy and I, just loved, and wanted to be, together with wonderful neighbors out there, and just a really cool spot, the Cortez Fishing Village right down the street, and just really, really neat place. So we decided to buy a house that was built in 1972 that was 5 feet above sea level. And hindsight, maybe not the best decision in the world, but we loved it. We loved it. And I don't know if you have the pictures that we put up, and I show these to you just to kind of give you a little bit of a feel, like so many of you in the room today, kind of what happened. And I know there's a bunch of us in the room that kind of had the same experience and went through the same types of things in one way or another. We all did that. So that picture in the lower center was the night of Helene, and that's kind of, I think, probably about 10 o'clock at night, and that's our front door. And we watched that, kind of happen, and thought, well, here we are, and here's what we're going to do. And we got through the night, and had a sleepless night, and it was the next morning, that it just struck me of, hey, here we are, here we are, and this is what we got to deal with. So that's kind of the picture up there in the upper right, just one of them. And we walked through, and we're kind of going, gosh, what's first? What do we do? How do we do this first? And lo and behold, here comes my partner, Chris Vining, with coffee and Danish. And I was like, great, perfect. We can sit outside and enjoy a cup of coffee on the dock. And the dock's not there anymore. But we can have some Danish and everything else. And Chris was so solid in saying, hey, you know what, John, we need to get to work on this. This is what really needs to happen, because when you go through that, you look at it and you kind of go, not sure that, I really know what to do. And Chris kind of came up and said, you need to get this stuff out of here. You need to start getting rid of things. Stuff is ruined, and the reality of that, came in, and not so much in a bad way, but hey, we need to get going on this. So, next thing you know, I turn around and there's 50 people at the house, and people, good friends, coworkers, family, people we knew, people we didn't know, just from all over. And, and it was very, very cool. And for the first time I realized, hey, it's great to help, and that's all fun and everything else, but we were on the other side of it now. And we'd never been there before. We'd never been in the situation of having to have help. And, when you need help, you need help. You can struggle through some things. You can get through some things, but when you need it, you need it. And man, bang, I realized it at that particular moment in time, how important what every person in this room does for each other, for the community, and how that, how that impacts the lives of people. It's an incredible thing. And I hope you never have to go through that, but take it from me, the feeling of, watching people come together and do what you can't do on your own. We could have never done what we did on our own. You saw a big pile of stuff out there and everything else. And, and we just never could have cleaned that out on our own. And then it went on and on and on. And we, I was able to talk to people. I was able to get people to, to help out, to get stuff picked up, off the side of the road. Little things. I joke with Tompi, a couple mornings after, people were walking out of the house with garbage bags, and I said, "What's in the garbage bag?" She said, "Our clothes." And I said, "Oh." I said, "Well, who's taking them?" She's like, "I don't know." I said, "Well, what are they going to do with them?" She said, "Well, they're going to launder them and bring them back to us." And I said, "Oh, okay. I hope so." And lo and behold, a few days later, we started getting stuff back. And I started to text people to say, "Look, if anybody has my socks, can you please bring them back to me, because I really need my socks at this point." So the help, little, small, big, whatever, was just incredible. And I tell you that not to be sad for us, because we're here, we're fine. The one picture of Tompi and I kind of in the house there, just really, points out that we are okay. We have hot and cold running water. We have a roof above our head, and we are, we're just fine, and we're going to be just fine. So, so I appreciate, firmly from the bottom of my heart, in our personal situation, all the help that we've gotten, and I thank each and every person in this room for doing the work that you do and getting the community through what we had to get through in 2024. So now let's get back to Veronica's comments on filling those cups. I'm excited to get our keynote speaker, Keith McPherson, on the stage to help us learn ways to create meaningful mindfulness in our daily lives. I almost said meaningful mindlessness, so that probably wouldn't have been good, Keith. I apologize. So Keith is a certified coach, speaker, and author, and has dedicated over 2 decades to empowering individuals through mindfulness practices. His transformative breakthroughs guide people towards their best lives. He authored the best-selling book, Making Sense of Your Mindfulness, 5 Principles to Integrate Mindful Practice into Your Daily Life. Keith's journey is as diverse as his teaching. Born and raised in Winnipeg, Canada, he toured internationally as a professional musician and even became a top finalist on the hit television series Canadian Idol. His global vision extends beyond borders, aiming to multiply his impact in mental health through international training programs. As a certified coach and a certified leadership coach with the Leadership Circle, Keith's expertise resonates across diverse audiences in Canada, the United States, Mexico, Africa, Dubai, and Great Britain. Keith's authenticity shines through his daily intentions on social media, his regular column, Keith's Corner, in corporate wellness magazines, and his dynamic one-on-one coaching sessions. And while we welcome Keith to the stage, I think we're going to show one more video that kind of drives the point home. But Keith, welcome to the stage. Thanks for being here.
In the wake of Hurricanes Debbie, Helene, and Milton, the spirit of Manatee shined brightly, embodying what it truly means to be strong. Homes and businesses were impacted, routines disrupted, and hearts tested. And our community responded with courage, compassion, and an unshakable resolve to rebuild together. This year, we celebrate you, our donors, nonprofit partners, community and civic leaders, and volunteers who embody the spirit of Manatee. We honor the acts of kindness that created ripples of hope, from neighbors sharing in a warm meal to our nonprofit partners who continued to deliver on their mission, while pivoting to answer the call for those in need. When the storms passed, it wasn't just about rebuilding structures. It was about rebuilding lives. It was about heart, determination, and the power of people coming together for a common purpose. Organizations and individuals worked side by side, pooling resources, time, and talent. Funding arrived not just from within our county, but from across the country and even internationally. A testament to the strength and character of our community and the philanthropy and connections we inspire. This year, celebrate our collective triumphs and every unsung hero who made a difference when it mattered most. Those who turned the impossible into reality through determination, creativity, and the power of unexpected partnerships that brought our community together in extraordinary ways. Rooted in a shared commitment to the greater good, Manatee County embodies a love of humankind, and together, through every storm, we grow stronger. Today, we honor your resilience. We celebrate your unity, and we look forward to a bright future built on the unwavering spirit of Manatee. Together, we are Manatee Strong.
Yeah. Amazing. Hi, everybody, and it is just an absolute honor to be here today. My name is Keith McPherson, and I'm just looking around the room and noticing just how many incredible people are here. I was watching this from afar. I don't live in the area, but I have some near and dear friends that live here in Manatee County that I've known for years. And just watching the news stories that came through this year, you guys have been through so much. I can't imagine how exhausting it must have been to be going through 3 hurricanes and just all that you've been through. And so I'm here today as the positive, unconventional part of the program, according to Veronica. I'm here to speak today about a topic that is near and dear to my heart as well. It's something that's really changed my life when we speak about resilience. And the topic is a word that gets thrown around a lot, this word mindfulness practice. What exactly is mindfulness? 15 years ago, where I live, I was up in Canada, and I was teaching at a yoga studio up there. And at the end of the yoga class, I had a student come up to me and said, "You're a yoga teacher. Would you be willing to come speak to a school, to a group of teachers, all about the practice of mindfulness?" And me being a yes person, are there any yes people here in the room that say yes to, I can hear you. Yeah, I'm a recovering yes person. I said, of course I will come and teach a program on mindfulness. But 15 years ago, I didn't know a lot about this topic. So there I was in this PD classroom with a bunch of teachers, and I went around and I asked people, what does mindfulness mean to you? And the answers I got back were staggering. Somebody said, mindfulness. Isn't that practice where you sit on a meditation cushion and do nothing? Like, why would I ever do that? I don't have time to do that. Somebody else said, well, in our classroom, we practice mindfulness. Everybody, all the students are given a raisin. And you look at the raisin for a while, and you might smell it, maybe talk to it, and then you finally eat it. I was like, what are these people talking about? Somebody else said mindfulness. I do that every day. I check it off my to-do list and I go on with the day. I left that school so confused and so curious about what exactly is mindfulness. 15 years later, I didn't know at the time that this would be probably one of the most influential practices that have really helped me navigate all of the complexity and the uncertainty and the chaos that we're up against, from natural disasters to just all the events that are going on in the world. You don't have to look far these days. Just turn on the news and it's overwhelming. So my hope here today is to share with you a little bit of what I've found mindfulness to be, in hopes that maybe you can also fill up your cup after the year that you've had. So one of the best ways that I heard mindfulness defined was by a children's author named Susan Kaiser Greenland. And this is what she says. She says mindfulness, in its essence, is all about paying attention in the present moment with kindness to yourself, other people, and the world around you. Now, you might read this and think, well, that sounds very airy-fairy. But if you actually slow this down for a minute, paying attention in the present moment. Even right now, if you're being honest, raise the hands. How many people here are sitting here, but you've already checked out in your mind, like you're thinking about other things? Anybody want to? I hear you laughing. No, but, oh, we got some honest people, right? This is a very, very tall order in our world. We are bombarded by so much noise and so much distraction that even sitting here right now, I heard a phone ringing earlier. We have so much coming in. It's very, very challenging for us to slow down and show up in the present moment. Now, it's not always necessary to be present, but often our mind tends to wander off when we're not present and we're not even aware of it, into stories about fear and anxiety and what could happen or what should have happened in the past. So this practice is an invitation to come back into the present moment. And this piece about kindness towards yourself as well. How often is it we get up in the morning, we're in the bathroom getting ready for the day, and we see ourselves in the mirror, and some of the first thoughts that I think, I don't know about you, but you see yourself in the mirror and you're, oh, bad hair day, or I got to get to the gym, or, oh my gosh, a receding hairline coming in, right? We tend to be so hard on ourselves, and it doesn't stop just at the beginning of the day. A lot of us, we go through the day, and the narrative in our own mind is like beating ourselves up. This practice is an invitation to slow down and start practicing also self-compassion, because when we do that, it authentically, automatically ripples out and affects other people as well. So with that being said, I don't want to just speak about mindfulness, but I want to take you unconventionally today through a few experiences of this so you can actually embody this practice. So to start us off, I was thinking about a couple of the key practices that have really influenced me, and one of them stems from ancient Hawaii. I've been studying the ancient Hawaiian culture for 20 years, and I've come to find that a lot of the ancient Hawaiian practices really correlate with what we call mindfulness here in North America. So to kick this off, would you guys be interested in learning a little Hawaiian today? Would you be? Okay, we need a little more enthusiasm for a, okay, good, okay. So I'm going to teach you a greeting that comes from ancient Hawaii. And this greeting goes like this. The first word, I want you to repeat after me, is this. The first word is ika. The next word is pono. You're sounding very Hawaiian, a lot of you here. And then the third word is mea. So you put this together, ika pono mea. Okay, and now this is a greeting, so I'd like you to turn to the person next to you and greet them and say, ika pono mea. Now you might be wondering, what exactly are we saying to each other? So let me explain. Ika pono mea, loosely translated into English, ika pono mea. This is what you just said. I promise it's not a swear word. What you just said to the person next to you is, this is happening perfectly on time. Everything is happening perfectly on time. Isn't that a beautiful way to greet somebody next to you, that you just happen to be sitting next to the person next to you? They have something to share with you. You have something to share with them. Now, some of you might be sitting here rolling your eyes going, let me tell you about the year I just had. It was so not ikaponomea. But from the ancient Hawaiian perspective, consider that even in the most challenging of times, there's a lesson. There's something we needed. And if it didn't happen that way, we wouldn't have learned what the lesson is. Just think of some of the most annoying people in your life that drive you crazy. These people are showing up perfectly on time in ikaponomea to teach you the practice of maybe how to practice patience or how to set a boundary, right? Or how to tell them to get lost. I guarantee you right now, if you're here with me and you're not making your Costco shopping list for the weekend or you're thinking about what's coming in your inbox, if you're really here with me right now, I guarantee there is something that's going to come through here that you needed to hear. It might be a reminder. It might be something you're hearing for the first time, but I believe there's no coincidence. There's a reason that we're sitting here having this conversation today. So, first mindfulness practice. You heard in the intro, I was a finalist on Canadian Idol. It was equivalent to American Idol. I've come to find that music and mindfulness are very correlated. And I've traveled all over the world playing music for some of the richest people, some of the poorest people. When music comes on, it's a universal language. It doesn't matter whether you're rich, poor, a different skin color, race, dare I say political party. At the end of the day, when music comes on, we forget about all these things that separate us on the surface, and we realize that we're actually very connected on a deeper level. And so a first practice today, I'd like to share with you, especially those of you that have been so putting all your energy out into this community, to give back today. I'm going to do something very unconventional, if you're up for it. I'd like to play a song for you. Would you be into that? I heard a yes. Okay. Before I do play this song, though, I want to speak about how this connects to mindfulness, because a lot of us in our culture have lost the art of what it means to really listen to music. I mean, we get on our Spotify playlist and it's like 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Most of us haven't actually listened to a full song in its entirety since the 1950s probably. My dad on Saturday mornings had this tradition where he would get up and he'd go down to our family basement. And he had this amazing vinyl collection. Does anybody have vinyl here still? Yes, all right. It's coming back. He used to choose an album off the shelf, study the artwork, put the album on, and he'd sit back on the couch and he would listen to the entire album. I thought it was so inspiring, and I think we've really lost the art of it. So today, as a mindfulness practice, I'm going to play this song in a moment, but I want you to treat this like a practice. Music, if you really listen to it, speaks to us in many different ways. Sometimes it's just a lyric that you hear in the song or a phrase. Sometimes music will hit us on the more unconscious level where we're going to have a feeling or emotion that comes up. And sometimes music also will evoke a memory. It'll take us back to a time or place. So as I'm playing this song, I want to invite you to really just slow down, if you can, and to take the moment to really let this song speak to you. Are you up for this? Okay, here we go. Let me get my guitar. I chose a song today, too, from my dad's record collection. I'm going to have you put your feet on the floor if they're not already. Take your hands, place them on your lap. I'm sorry if you're in the middle of a bite of salad here. Okay. And if you're comfortable, if you really want to have the full experience, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And just start by taking a deep breath in through your nose. As you breathe out, just relax your mind. Take another one for good luck. Inhale. As you exhale, just relax and open yourself up to receive the music. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean, You fill up my senses, come fill me again. You come, let me love you, let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. Come, let me love you, come fill me again. Just take a deep breath. If your eyes are closed, just slowly open your eyes to come back. And do we have a safe enough space in here to share? Like, if whatever gets shared in this room will stay in this room? Is everybody good with that? If you're not, you're going to have to leave now. I just wanted you to take a moment, and at your table, just the person next, just like one moment, I'd like you to just share. What did that song speak to you? What came up? Just take one moment to do that, if you could, right now. What did that song speak to you? Felt good. Where'd it take you? I'm kind of a feeling. Yeah. Love it. Good. You got a talent. Thank you. How about you? Oh, I love that memory. Nice. I'm there. Thank you. Yeah. Great to be here. Thank you. Okay, let's come back. Just a quick conversation, so let's bring it back. I'm so curious. I'm so curious where you went. The sound system's funny. Tap your glasses. Tap your glasses. There we go. Thank you. I want to hear all the stories that just happened. There's so much more, I'm sure. As I was playing it, there was a line about, let me drown in your laughter. And if I'm being really honest, that line for me today, let me drown. When I heard John sharing his story today, amidst all of the hurricane trauma that happened, he was able to laugh. And it took me right to that moment, John. It was incredible. And I know you all have something that song spoke. So my point being, I'm not here to give you more to do on your to-do list. You are some of the busiest people in America. But what I am here to do is to remind you that you can actually integrate these resilience practices into your life. You know, a lot of you are commuting to work or to different places, grocery shopping. And while we're commuting, a lot of us have the radio on and we're listening to the breaking news stories that just freak us all out. Why not create a playlist that lifts your spirit or calms your soul, especially in those moments when you're feeling stressed and anxiety? So this is a first practice. Second one, I want to talk about this as well. Coming up here on the screen is a word, I think, that for a lot of us represents what we've been experiencing this past year, this idea of fear. And in mindfulness, fear, the acronym for fear stands for this: false is coming up, false evidence appearing real. Have you ever heard that most of what you actually worry about in the present moment, it doesn't even happen the way you've been worrying about it? Yet most of us spend our time and our energy worrying about things that aren't even happening in the present moment. They did this study at Cornell University where they had people write down all the things that they were worrying about. And they tracked them through the span of time. And what they found was 80% of the people at the end of the study came back and said, what I actually wrote down didn't even happen. And the small margin of people, the 20%, they said it happened, but it wasn't actually as scary as my mind was making it out to be. When I think about fear, this is the image that conjures up in my mind. It's this little stick character that shows up in my mind. This for me is fear. And this represents for me this voice that comes up in my head. All day long, if I listen to it, this voice that comes up in my head representing fear, it says things like, there's not enough time. There's not enough money. You're not doing a good enough job. These people are so bored right now. They're waiting for you to get off the stage. If I listen to this thing is kicking my butt. I call this the saboteur. And it's been said that every single one of us has a version of this playing out in our consciousness. Now, yours might not look like a stick character talking to you in your head. Yours might just be the butterflies in the stomach or a tightening of the chest, or many of us experience the saboteur at night when we're going to sleep, and the wheels start turning about all the things you didn't accomplish or what you should have done, or what. It's time to stop shoulding on ourselves. But in this practice of mindfulness, there's an invitation that I have for you today, and it's something called expose the saboteur. When we expose the saboteur, when we call this out, it no longer has control and power over us. We come back into the present moment. So I want to take you through one final practice today to help you, especially those of you that maybe are here today and you're feeling some anxiety or fear or stress. There's a practice in mindfulness called anchoring. And it's exactly as it sounds. If you were to drop an anchor off a boat, it would keep the boat relatively stable in one place. It's the same thing with our mind. When we anchor our mind back to the present moment, we're no longer in a state of fear or stress or anxiety. Like if you're really here right now, in your mind and your body with me, if you're really here, can you feel how safe you are sitting here right now in this moment? There's no fear. In order to be in fear, you have to start worrying about something that's not happening right now. So I'd like to take you through just a very short, formal version of anchoring. This is something, my good friend Ned Grossman, who's here, he's the guy that brought me down to this area in the first place. Ned, are you here? Stand up, Ned. This is, if you don't know Ned Grossman, there he is, over there, Ned Grossman. This guy is the king of one-liners. And one of my favorite one-liners from Ned Grossman's book is, focus on the things which you have input, impact, and control. I'm going to say that again. Focus on the things you have input, impact, and control. One thing you have control over is this present moment if you tune in. So once again, I'm going to have you put your feet on the floor. You're going to place your hands again on your lap so you're not distracted. Sorry if you're taking a bite of dessert. I'm going to invite you again to close your eyes. And I'm going to invite you to narrow down the focus of your attention right now to your breathing. Just notice the breath spills in like a wave coming in. And as you breathe out, just feel how your shoulders relax. Just over the next 30 seconds, your complete mission is to just watch, just to observe the breath spilling in through the nose and spilling out through the nose or mouth. And when your mind wanders, which it's going to, just call it out. Oh, there goes my mind. Bring it back to the anchor. Breath spills in. Breath spills out. Let's take one more breath in. And just let it go. And as you open your eyes and you come back, I'm just curious how many people are feeling just a little bit more calm, sort of like just relaxed and calm, just by a show of hands, just in that 30 seconds, yeah. How many people feel like this? Let's get the slide up there. How many people feel like this? You were sitting there, and all of a sudden, this happened, where you were sitting there trying to breathe, and all of a sudden, this happened. Hang on, not that, but this right here. You're sitting there trying to breathe, and then this took place. I don't know why it's not happening, but there's a little man with his head spinning. Did anybody's mind just wander off out of the present moment? Oh, there he is. He's coming. His head is supposed to spin. We're having some, oh, here he comes. There he is. How many people felt like that? If you did, you're not alone. They say the average human mind wanders approximately 47% of the time. And I'm pretty sure, if you think about it, this study was done back in 2010 at Harvard, that the average human mind wanders 47% of the time. I'm pretty sure we've crossed the 50th percentile, meaning most of us are missing out on half of the present moment, like half of our lives in the present moment, because our mind wandered off. Do you know what that means? That means you've actually missed out on half of my presentation today. We're going to have to do this again next year to get the other half. But with that being said, I want to encourage you to consider that anchoring practice is a way to bring yourself back to the moment. And if you don't have time to sit and breathe like that, even today, as you're here, you can practice anchoring with what you're already doing. The next conversation you have. How often is it we're talking to somebody and our mind just wanders off? When that happens, come back to the building. Be with the person you're speaking with. Make it an anchoring practice. Tonight, when you're brushing your teeth, many of us wander around our house changing the laundry, checking our phones. Tonight, can you just be present in the moment? And when your mind and body want to wander, just come back to that one task at hand. This is going to bring just so much more peace into your life. It's a way to calm your nervous system. Okay, final piece. This is one of the most challenging ways to expose the saboteur, but it's been said, if you really want to practice exposing the saboteur, stand in front of a mirror. Now, some of you might remember the old Stuart Smalley skit from Saturday Night Live. There's some real validity in this. If you stand in front of a mirror and look at yourself for a few moments, there is a very good chance your saboteur is going to come up and say, who do you think you are looking at yourself in the mirror like this? And it's going to point out all the things that aren't good. But if you can get underneath the surface of the saboteur mind, and just even for a moment, glimpse at yourself in the mirror, not with vanity, but with self-compassion, to a place of seeing yourself in the mirror and thinking a thought like, hey, handsome, or hi, cutie, to actually see yourself in the mirror for who you really are. This is a way to start filling your cup up, to remembering who you really are. So I just, to close here, would like to put a challenge out to this group, that we take a mirror challenge. On your next bathroom break today, I want to challenge you to get in front of the mirror, and while you're washing your hands, to look at yourself and either think a positive thought, and if you're really daring, to say something positive to yourself and call out your saboteur. So by a show of hands, who'd be willing to take the mirror challenge? Okay, now high five somebody at your table. That's your accountability partner. All right. Okay. So that person you just high-fived is your accountability partner for the challenge. You think you got this down? I'm pretty sure you can do it. Okay, just to close here, I want to review just a couple of the pieces that we've covered today. Number one, slow down and listen to the music. Let's get this slide up. Slow down and listen to the music. It's all around you if you're in the present moment. Slow down and listen to the music. Number two, expose the saboteur daily. You've got a mirror work challenge now. You've got this practice of anchoring back into the present moment where safety is. This present moment is the reality. And then just finally, this idea here as well of anchoring and mirror work if it decides to come up on the screen. These are some ways to integrate mindfulness into what you're already doing. So with that all being said, I want to thank you guys for inviting me out here and for all the incredible work you've done in the community. I'm going to be at the back at the end. I've got some copies of the book if you're interested, but I'd love to also hear how that song spoke to you. So please come visit at the end. And finally, just if you want to stay in touch, I do send out a daily positive quote every morning called The Daily Intention. And it's at my website, keithmcphersonyes.ca for Canada. And This positive quote every morning called the daily intention is just a way to get you thinking in this positive form. I'm not a sales marketing guy. You're just going to get the intention. And like I said, it's just another tool or way to integrate this practice into your life. So I want to thank you again for having me here. It's been a real blessing. Bless you all this year ahead. And we're going to now call up Veronica and John to carry on the program. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wow. Wasn't that special? Keith McPherson, everyone. My mind absolutely wandered. You know where it went? It went to the fact that this is a sold-out room. And with that came some challenges in registration. And I kept thinking to myself, oh my gosh, all these people were lined up waiting for their badge. I hate it. And then I thought, Ika pono mea. So thank you for your patience and grace during this exploration of how to maximize the square footage of this room. And with that, I have my buddy and the best MC ever, John.
Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate that. You know, I had some things that I didn't do, and I do quite well, Keith. Actually, I stand in front of the mirror every morning and say to myself, "Damn, you're good looking." The song brought me back to when I was a child, and we listened to that song on modern technology called 8-track. Who here has never seen an 8-track tape? Raise your hand. Come on, I know you youngins out there. Don't be shy. There you go. The third thing I thought was, you know, my chief of staff, Jamie, is here, and I don't want Jamie to do the one thing. She needs to do 5 things at a time for us to keep us on track. So, Jamie, please don't do that. And the fourth thing was that I really want to get back to my table so I can eat more of this wonderful dessert that is on the table. So, fantastic. What a great meal.
Thank you, John. Please do eat that dessert. Before we jump in and start recognition of our incredible honorees, I'd like to thank Vern Buchanan again. Congressman, we are so grateful you took the time to be here. We know you could be in a million other places. Your plate is very full. But thank you not only for being here, but for helping and partnering with MCF to resolve the child care crisis. You were instrumental in kicking us off with the Child Care Alliance, and I see a lot of our members here today. And for sponsoring and supporting so much of the work community foundations do at a national level. You're a voice that is very well respected and heard in DC, and we appreciate that partnership as well. Thank you. So today, to help us recognize these amazing philanthropists of community, we will ask Vern Buchanan, Congressman Buchanan, and Sherrod Halliburton to come to stage, and they will be presenting some awards. And John, you and I will do the name call-outs. And if you are an honoree, let me ask you to please start making your way over to my left, your right, so we can get the program on schedule. Thank you. All right. Congressman, would you like to say a few words before we get started? I can see it in your eye. Come on in.
Gentleman to D.C. Slow down and focus. Let me just touch on just a couple of things. First off, I see so many friends here over the years. We've worked closely together on a lot of things, including you're talking about the foundations. They were just in my office this week, regional representatives from here. They were in my office in D.C. this week, and we took a meeting, but they've been there for 10 years because of the taxation, and it's so important. I wanted to mention that I want to thank the CEO. You know, before I got into this crazy business, you know, I ran quite a few businesses that I had over a period of 30 years. And I know a winner when I see one, and you got an incredible chairman in her. I want to say that. Let's give her a big round of applause. And I know that you've got assets. I've been on a board of a community foundation. The power is enormous. And, You're looking where you got 62 million. A lot of that, as it earns, comes back into the community. That 62 million will be 600 million before long with her leadership. Believe me on that. I would tell you, I remember being told a story when I first got in. Someone had left the community I was working in the region, I think 27 million. They gave away, but they gave it 1930 or something, but they gave it away about 130 million. And after, I'd say 60 years or so, they still had the 130 million there. Just the earn out of that paid that. The other thing is, and what became so powerful to me, this is before I was a member of Congress, I used to be the chairman of the Ringling Museum in Sarasota, Manatee County. And it was falling down, falling apart, and we worked with the state legislature. John McKay, he was president of the Senate, became a good friend. But we were asking for, like, you know, as much as we could get, $50 million worth of work needed to be done. Well, we ended up working out a deal where we got about $14 million up front. He said, raise $10 million because you don't have a foundation, you don't have any money. And then we'll get you, if you can do that, we'll give you the other 40. But anyway, we ended up with $50 million. But that original 10 that we got was mainly out of the community foundations and large givers in the area that made that difference. And that's why I've seen the power of it. It's incredible what it means to this region. If you looked at the total dollars that come in, it's monstrous about the people leaving behind a lot of money. And, you know, someone said, like the Boys and Girls Club, and we've always supported that aggressively. And I stuck home with me, as well as on that point, is that children make up 25% of the population, but 100% of the future. And I can just tell you, I'm so excited about that. And then the other thing I just want to say on these storms, they're unbelievable. You know, as a member of Congress, you get access and go out there the day after. It was sad. I couldn't even imagine it. I've lived on the water 30 years. When I came here in the early 80s, the first place I was in Manatee County, I didn't know if they were going to be able to put it back together. It was devastating. It looked like 10 hurricanes, tornadoes hit it. Same thing with Longboat and Siesta, but I was focused on Manatee County. It was tragic and sad. But what I did see, as the gentleman mentioned, people coming together, not just from our community, which was huge, this region, but from the state and across the country. They were bringing capability to get us back on our feet. And then I'll just say the last thing. FEMA's been pretty good. They're not perfect, but if we can help you any way that we can, we want to be helpful on that front, you know, to make a difference. I know it's been a challenge with some, but the money's flowing, more will be flowing, and we want to make a difference on that. I had another hour speech, but I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go practice my mindfulness, okay?
Thank you so much. All right, ready?
Ready to roll.
All right. So
Okay.
we're color-coded here.
I know. I love it.
You're black, I'm purple. Okay.
All right. I think I can get that right. So our first honoree this afternoon is Miss Janine Amick from the Manatee Performing Arts Center.
Woo! And Jackie Barron from Mosaic, Florida Operations.
My fellow courtesan, Miss Karen Bell from the Starfish Company.
And rock star Sarah Brown from Manatee County Government.
Our next honorees are Mike Carter, Rick Willits, and Bethany Willits Carter. And because spring training and spring break takes so much time at O'Bricks, and they're very, very busy, excepting for Mike, Bethany, and Rick, is another wonderful Carter, Miss Jamie Carter. Maybe. They must be really
Jamie's
busy.
coming.
Oh,
She's coming.
Jamie's coming. There she is. Didn't you get the memo?
But we will wait for her any day, won't we, John?
We'll wait for her any day.
There you go. And Tarnisha Kliat from Minnesota Black Chamber of Commerce, Collaborative, rather. Sorry. No worries.
Next, from the center of Anna Maria Island, Chris Colhane.
And Dr. Kenneth Davis from BIED Society.
A man who needs no introduction, Mr. Vernon Desir from the Manatee Memorial Foundation.
I wonder if there's an award that Mr. Desir has not won yet.
You'd be hard-pressed to find that.
That's right. That's what started it, right? All right. And Henry Detweiler Sr. from Detweiler Farm Market.
Miss Darcy Duncan from Duncan Real Estate, and accepting on her behalf is MCF board member, Miss Amanda Horn.
Our wonderful partner from United Way Suncoast, Josh Dunn.
Congratulations. You're all over the place today. Let's hear it for Michael Gary from the Kiwanis Club, a Longboat Key.
All right, and another celebrity in our community, Miss Mary Glass from the Education Foundation.
And from a community that was hard hit but so resilient, the Rabonia Community Center, Mr. Lewis Goff.
Also known as the Mayor of Rabonia. Come on up, Justin Hallis from Hand Up to Victory.
Let's hear it for Jennifer Hammy from Jennifer Hammy, PA.
And David Kraft from Vision Consulting Group.
From our Moat Marine Laboratory and Aquarium, Mr. Bruce Kurtz.
And let's have Mary Beth Phillips from Meals on Wheels Plus.
And Stephanie Rauda from Healthy Teens.
All right, I don't think Stephanie is here. Stephanie, are you here? Did you have to dash? All right. We'll move on then to Amanda Reedy and Eleni Sokos from Oysters Rock Hospitality.
Let's hear it for St. Stephen's Episcopal School Community, and accepting the award is the head of the St. Stephen's Episcopal School, Peter Kraft.
And Keenan Wooten from Sarasota Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
And to round out this awesome group, Melinda Zarzicki Harris from Bring On the Ministry.
Thank you. And as Sherrod and Congressman Buchanan exit the stage, we're going to take a few photos of our amazing honorees right here. Feel free to go back to your seats just as long as the photos are taken. John, what do you think?
I thought it was awesome. What a great group, and just such an awesome cross-section of our community, and wonderful, wonderful people. Like I said, all coming together to make things happen. So it's just a fantastic thing, and a very, very heartwarming thing to see all the work that they do.
Thank you. And can we have a major round of applause for our presenting sponsor, John Vita. You'll be back in for the 2-0 next year. Thank you, everyone. And right before we close, I'd like to share a few words, and we will have one of our board members close out the event. Philanthropy is not a matter of wealth. Philanthropy is a matter of character. And character starts with the heart. Philanthropy is about the care for human life, and that starts with the heart. To the donors who gave generously, selflessly, and swiftly during our difficult times, we thank you. To the nonprofit partners who innovated to find ways to deliver on their mission and beyond while their own staff were struggling, we thank you. To the community leaders who worked around the clock to bring resources to businesses, safety, and food to our tables, we thank you. To the board members, fellow funders, and volunteers who rolled up your sleeves to respond, we thank you. Philanthropy is a team sport. Each one of you were an essential part of the solution to bring our community back together. Because of you, the spirit of Manatee is alive. and our community has begun to rise again. So while today we recognize some of those who stepped up in big ways, let us take a moment to express gratitude to each one of you. For all of you are the spirit of Manatee. And with that, please open the box in front of you. All right. May I have a wonderful and loud round of applause for every single person here is the spirit of Manatee. If you'll recall last year, we had our very own Kristen Truong give some powerful closing remarks. She posed a challenge to open our boards to younger professionals. We took that challenge. Let me introduce to you Kristen Truong to close us off, now as a board member of the Manatee Community Foundation.
I'm a little bit shorter than everyone else who was up here today. But thank you, John, and thank you, Veronica, and to all of our sponsors and everyone for being here. And congratulations again to our recognized honorees. Our community's strength and resilience through a challenging year shined so brightly here today. In all of the pictures and videos, it really was a testament to even what John said, reminding us of the little things, a text message, a kind hug, or like he said, just showing up and being there for each other. Veronica mentioned that we had 30 honorees today, but we actually have 31. Veronica's name was submitted, but she withdrew her name, being the humble person that she is. I had to bring up my own paper so she wouldn't know. She worked day and night in the aftermath of the hurricanes. And I would say everybody here, and especially even the board members of MCF, saw that she was constantly out there. She was supporting people. She was organizing critical relief and support. And as she always does, she managed to do it all with grace. So please welcome me in recognizing Manatee Community Foundation CEO, Veronica Thames.
Thank you so much. Someone is getting in trouble later. I'm very moved, very grateful, but very blessed. And as I said earlier, a city girl from a third world country that grew up all the way till age 19 and got moved, relocated to this amazing place against my will. I really believe that wherever you go, there you are. So the question is, ika pono mea, right? Things are happening for a reason. What are we going to do about them? Let's never let the circumstances define us. Let's define them. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.